Farmweek is a production of the Mississippi State University Extension Service.
Today on Farm Week, food prices in the United States are running 6% higher than a year ago.
President Obama mentions the Agriculture Department specifically as a place to cut the budget.
In Southern Gardening, we like to think of our landscapes already as being green, but we'll have some ways to make your landscape environmentally friendly.
In the markets, cotton fundamentals remain well supported, as the latest on-feed report brings a bullish reaction in the cattle sector.
In the feature segment, you'll meet a man who's a farmer, a cattleman, and he runs a feedlot. He's also known as an environmentalist. Bill Cowser has been recognized nationally and in the mainstream media for his environmental awareness.
When we started this project back in 2004, the DNR told us if it failed, it was our responsibility to bring it to code. Our guys, our feedlot, our family operation does not accept failure. We were going to make this work somehow.
Good day, everyone. I'm Leighton Spann.
And I'm Artis Ford. Welcome to Farm Week.
The latest figures from the U.S. Department of Agriculture show food prices continue to climb, with eggs leading the way.
Leighton, these figures are current as of the end of August. As you might expect, the high price of corn, soybeans, and energy is contributing to some dramatic increases in food prices. The Food at Home Cost Index is 6% higher than it was a year ago. 5 out of the 6 categories measured increased in August. Only non-alcoholic beverages declined slightly. Looking at individual commodities, retail egg prices increased almost 5% in August and stand almost 15% higher than a year ago. Retail beef prices are 10.4% higher than a year ago. Retail pork is 7.5% higher than a year ago. Retail poultry prices actually declined slightly in August, but are still 3.4% higher than a year ago. Dairy prices are 9.1% higher than August a year ago. Cereal and bakery products are 5.3% higher than in August of 2010. What about food purchased away from home? That index increased almost 0.5% in August, the largest increase in almost 3 years. That's up almost 3% compared to a year ago. Looking at energy, the gasoline index rose almost 2% in August. It's up more than 32% from August of last year.
This week, we have a few details of President Barack Obama's proposed American Jobs Act. These details pertain to agriculture. It appears the Obama administration is going to make its own run at reducing spending on farm programs. One high-profile target, farm subsidies. As the price of commodities have increased by more than 60% over the past 5 years, direct payments to farmers grew to roughly $5 billion worth in 2010. Market to Market's Mark Pearson reports.
All told, this plan cuts $2 in spending for every dollar in new revenues. In addition to the $1 trillion in spending that we've already cut from the budget, our plan makes additional spending cuts that need to happen if we're to solve this problem. We reform agricultural subsidies, subsidies that a lot of times pay large farms for crops that they don't grow. We make modest adjustments to federal retirement programs. We reduce by tens of billions of dollars the tax money that goes to Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac.
With a target pointed straight at agricultural subsidies, President Obama is just the latest Washington lawmaker to balance spending initiatives with a slash in farm program spending. Under the Obama plan, $33 billion over 10 years would come from mandatory programs earmarked as agriculture spending. The administration advocates the end of direct payments and the defunding of $8.3 billion from crop insurance. Another $2 billion would be saved from USDA's conservation programs. The White House says the American agriculture sector can weather the cuts because of its relative strength compared to other sectors of the economy. According to the Obama administration, 2011 farm income is forecast at $103.6 billion, up 31% from 2010, and marks the highest inflation-adjusted net farm income in more than 35 years. The proposal has sent shockwaves throughout the ag sector, already bracing for cuts from the so-called Congressional Super Committee later this year. The National Corn Growers Association responded with a call for shared sacrifice, but warned, "We are deeply concerned by proposals that would directly undermine a farmer's ability to purchase adequate insurance coverage at a time of heightened volatility in commodity markets." Farm policy overhauls are traditionally handled by congressional farm bills, but economic factors have pressed the White House to search for immediate savings. Congress has given the president a mixed response. Iowa Republican Charles Grassley warned agriculture programs cannot shoulder the budget savings without cuts from additional government programs.
I believe that direct payments are going to be cut back. I believe some other programs will be affected. I don't have a certain figure, but I believe that if we, in bipartisan way, come up with a program where we can save near the X number of dollars that people think we ought to be saving, I think that policy will be better than what the president has adopted and may save maybe not the same amount of money, but a sizable amount of money.
Congress is expected to examine the President's American Jobs Act in the coming weeks, only months before the Super Committee tallies its first vote.
We like to think of our landscapes as being green, but depending on the plants we choose, we could be fooling ourselves. In this week's Southern Gardening segment, Extension horticulturist Dr. Gary Bachman will show us a landscape featuring Mississippi native plants that is truly environmentally friendly.
Today I'm at the home of Allison and Brandon Pike. They live in a community where the landscapes have been designed to be environmentally sensitive. Native plants are used extensively, which means they are well adapted to our Mississippi weather and they are tolerant of our Mississippi insect pests. Gulf muley grass is a native perennial that is drought tolerant and was chosen as the Mississippi Medallion native plant for 2010. Combined with red knockout rose and ruby loropetalum, visitors are led to the pergola and the backyard. The focal point of the entry area are the blueberry bushes framing the miniature red climbing rose. Natchez crepe myrtles frame the opening to the picnic area. I really like the hardscape of recycled fired bricks laid in a herringbone pattern. The steps to the porch are framed with fragrant rosemary. Moving along, you enter the green area for more formal entertaining. The bird bath is surrounded by flowering vinca. A favorite of mine that is planted in various places is the dwarf palmetto palm. With underground stems, the pinwheel-shaped leaves seem to rise out of the ground. When combined with a dwarf version of native wax myrtle, it creates a small screen